Look at my plate. And look at Aspen's plate.
I didn't know they were going to give me all the food.
Like, damn, girl. How much you weigh?
She's really smart.
How much you weigh?
130.
130? Okay.
How much you weigh?
205. Damn. I did not think you were going to eat all that.
It's not good.
1 out of 10.
Yeah. Corn.
What?
Potato.
Okay, you don't like the corn and you don't like the potato.
Yeah.
So what, 8 out of 10? Or you say?
I give it a 9.
Oh, even better. Okay. They're homies. On the set. I heard that shit.
Give it 8.
Because of the bathroom.
That's it.
She went in the bathroom and really rated the bathroom. Real food critic though, right? I ain't even mad at it. So bet. I'll take it. I've never had nobody come here and rate the bathroom. So I like that. I like the detail and the critique.
Yeah, the floors are nice though.
Yeah?
But they look
Good? Okay.
The cameras weren't supposed to catch this much, but somehow, they always do. What started as a casual night out quickly turned into something fans can't stop talking about. Blueface was spotted sitting across from Aspen Kartier at King of Crabs, and at first glance, it looked like nothing more than a laid-back dinner. Plates stacked high, seafood cracking, laughter echoing, but the energy felt different. Too comfortable. Too familiar. And people noticed. Eyewitnesses say the vibe between them didn't feel like just friends grabbing food. There were moments, subtle glances, quiet conversations, body language that didn't match a simple hangout. Phones came out, clips started circulating, and within minutes, social media was already building its own narrative. Some fans are convinced this is the start of something deeper, while others think it's just another moment blown out of proportion. But the timing? That's what really has people questioning everything, because in a world where every move is watched and every interaction is analyzed, nothing stays just dinner for long. And now, with speculation growing and fans connecting dots that may or may not be there, one thing is clear: this night at King of Crabs just turned into a story no one saw coming. The internet doesn't wait, and this time, it moved fast. Within hours of Blueface and Aspen Kartier being spotted together at King of Crabs, the narrative had already taken on a life of its own. What looked like a simple dinner quickly turned into a full-blown mystery, and fans weren't just watching anymore, they were analyzing every second like it meant something bigger. The clips started small, a short video of them laughing. Another of Aspen is leaning in slightly closer than expected. Then a moment where Blueface says something that makes her pause, smile, and look down just long enough for people to start reading into it. And that's all it took. Because in today's world, it's never just about what happens, it's about how it looks. And this looked intentional. Some fans were quick to point out how relaxed Blueface seemed, not guarded, not distracted. Just present. That alone raised eyebrows, considering how often his name is tied to chaos, controversy, and unpredictable situations. But here, sitting across from Aspen, he looked different, calmer, focused, almost like he wasn't trying to perform for the cameras even though cameras were clearly there. Aspen, on the other hand, matched that energy in a way that didn't feel forced. She wasn't playing into the moment for attention. She wasn't exaggerating reactions or making it obvious that she knew people were watching. If anything, she seemed comfortable, like this wasn't new. Like this wasn't their first time sitting across from each other like that. And that's where things started to shift, because fans began asking a simple question: if this isn't new, then what is it? The speculation exploded. Comment sections turned into debates. Some people were convinced this had been building behind the scenes for a while. Others believed it was just a coincidence to people in the same place, at the same time, with nothing deeper going on. But the more footage surfaced, the harder it became for people to dismiss it as random. There was a rhythm to their interaction, a familiarity, the kind you don't fake easily. At one point in the now viral clips, Blueface reaches across the table, not dramatically, not in a way that screams for attention, but casually, subtle enough that you might miss it if you weren't looking closely. But fans were looking closely, and once they saw it, they couldn't unsee it, because moments like that don't just happen without context. Then came the body language breakdowns. People slowed videos down, zoomed in, circled gestures, and built entire theories based on eye contact alone. It might sound extreme, but this is how modern celebrity culture works. Every frame becomes evidence. Every second becomes part of a larger story. And this story? It was getting deeper by the minute. What made things even more interesting was the timing. Blueface's personal life has never exactly been private, and fans are very aware of his past connections, situations, and ongoing headlines. So seeing him in a setting like this low-key, almost intimate, felt out of place. And when something feels out of place, people start digging. They started connecting dots that weren't even confirmed. Had they been seen together before? Were there signs that people missed? Was this planned or just a coincidence that turned into something bigger? No one had clear answers. But that didn't stop the conversation. Meanwhile, neither Blueface nor Aspen Kartier said a word. No posts. No clarifications. No attempts to shut anything down. And sometimes, silence says more than anything else, because if it really was nothing, why not just say that? That question alone kept the speculation alive. Fans began choosing sides, some rooting for whatever this might be, others criticizing the situation without fully understanding it. And in the middle of it all were two people who, at least on camera, looked completely unbothered by the noise surrounding them, which only made things more intense, because when people expect a reaction and don't get one, they start creating their own conclusions. Some believe this is the beginning of something real. Others think it's just another moment being blown out of proportion. But there's also a third perspective, the one that doesn't get talked about as much. The idea that maybe, just maybe, not everything needs to be defined immediately. That sometimes a dinner is just a dinner, even if it doesn't look like one. Still, perception is powerful. And right now, the perception is clear. Something about that night felt different, whether it was the chemistry, the timing, or the way they carried themselves. It left an impression that people can't shake. And once something like that hits the internet, it doesn't just disappear. It evolves, it grows. It turns into something bigger than the original moment. Now the question isn't just what happened at King of Crabs. Is what happens next. Will they address it? Will they be seen together again? Or will this remain one of those moments that lives purely in speculation, never confirmed, never denied, but always remembered? Because one thing is certain. Fans are watching now, and the next move, whatever it is, won't go unnoticed. Just when it felt like the conversation might slow down, it didn't. It actually got louder. Because the more people replayed that night, the more questions started stacking up, and none of them had clear answers. The clips from King of Crabs weren't fading away as most viral moments do. Instead, they were being reposted, re-edited, and reinterpreted from every possible angle. And somehow, each new version made things look even more intentional. What really took things to another level was the way fans began noticing details that hadn't stood out at first. The timing of when Blueface arrived, the way Aspen Kartier was already settled in, the comfort between them that didn't need introductions or explanations. It didn't feel like two people linking up randomly. It felt planned, or at least understood between them, and that's when the narrative shifted again. Now people weren't just asking if something was going on. They were asking how long it had been going on. Social media detectives went into full mode, scrolling through old posts, checking past locations, matching timelines. Even the smallest coincidences started being treated like clues. a similar background in an old story, a matching vibe in separate posts. Things that might mean nothing on their own suddenly felt connected when placed side by side. And whether those connections were real or not didn't even matter anymore because the story had already taken shape. But here's the part that really stood out. Neither of them stepped into control. No denial, no confirmation, no "you're reaching" post to calm things down. That silence. It started to feel strategic. Because in a world where people are quick to shut down rumors, choosing not to say anything can sometimes say more than words ever could. It keeps people guessing. It keeps attention locked in. And most importantly, it keeps the moment alive. Meanwhile, fans stayed divided. Some saw chemistry and were fully here for it, calling it unexpected but interesting. Others questioned the situation entirely, bringing up past drama and wondering if this was just another chapter in a much bigger, more complicated story. And then some believed this was all just a coincidence turned viral, nothing more, nothing less. But even they couldn't ignore one thing. That energy didn't look accidental. There was a calmness in how Blueface carried himself that night. No chaos, no distractions, just locked into the moment. And Aspen matched that in a way that didn't feel forced or performative. It was natural, maybe too natural. And that's exactly why people can't let it go. Because when something feels real even slightly, it sticks differently. Now the moment has moved beyond just a dinner sighting. It's become a question mark hanging in real time, with thousands of people waiting to see if it turns into something more, or quietly disappears without explanation. But if there's one thing the internet has proven over and over again, it's this: moments like this don't just fade. They either turn into something bigger, or they come back round when you least expect it. And just like that, what started as a quiet dinner turned into a moment nobody can ignore. The night at King of Crabs may be over, but the questions are still wide open. Was it just a vibe, or the beginning of something real between Blueface and Aspen Kartier? No confirmations, no denials, just silence that keeps the story alive. And sometimes that's all it takes. Because in a world watching every move, even the smallest moment can turn into something much bigger.